Yeah, we're not going to wait until he says, fire, fire on the mountain. But he eventually says that. I promise you.
That's 15 minutes into the song.
That's the late Jerry Garcia and not Nick
Late,
Anastasian or whatever. The guy, the fraud fish people. Listen, Sam's in studio, by the way. Former co-host of From the Nosebleeds. Sam is in studio. Big Fish fan. But I always labeled Fish as like, a trying to be Grateful Dead band.
Well, that's what they are, yeah.
Yeah. But listen, I think they're good though, and I'm going to go see them at the Man with Sam later in the summer.
Hold hands.
And you guys can win tickets too if you go to Nosebleeds PHL and tweet us, and Sam will buy you guys some tickets. But welcome into From the Nosebleeds. We have a couple special guests here today. Vince is joining us via satellite because apparently Fox Chase is literally burning to the ground.
Yeah, that's why there's all the smoke.
Yeah, like the smoke has reached an epic proportion over in Fox Chase because of all the foxes probably. But Pat Doyle's in studio again. What's up, Pat?
Hey, how's it going? I'm calling in.
Yeah, Pat's on the Xfinity voice line. Yeah, he's not in the studio.
I'm calling in.
No. Pat O'Leary obviously is here. He's a staple of From the Nosebleeds, as you guys know. And our buddy Christian's here, special guest. What's up, Christian?
Nothing much, man. How's it going?
Good, man. But you're about to be exposed to billions, potentially trillions of people. So,
for real.
Yeah, dude, this is a good opportunity for you, man. I'm very happy to have you interning here. And
yeah, just make sure you weave
we're
in.
We're currently running auditions to replace Vince because there's too many via satellite shows going on.
Hey, if you want to buy me a car, Seamus, I'm all for it.
I could buy you an Uber gift card for Christmas, though. I can definitely do that. And I'll put about $300. That should cover about how many shows? About 5 shows.
Yeah, like 5 shows.
Or we could accept donations. Again, at Nosebleeds PHL.
Hashtag get Vince to the show.
Hashtag get Vince to the stew, and we will start. Actually, you know what? Fuck. Let's start a GoFundMe. People start GoFundMes for stupid-ass reasons. Somebody's going to start a GoFundMe because, it's too smoky outside. Oh, I can't breathe. So they're going to start a GoFundMe for that. They're going to get $10 million, and then we're just going to sit by and watch. And we're going to do the same thing. It's called a Ponzi scheme.
Seamus buys Vince a car, but he's a chauffeur.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? Dude, I could drive, by the way. Very good driver. I'm a good driver. I thrive in smoky conditions. But we do have a lot to cover today. We've missed a lot in the past 2 weeks, and I'm sure Vince wants to do like a full 2-week recap, but I'm simply not having it.
No, I was gonna say we have to talk about the biggest news, and that's Leo Messi joining Inter Miami.
No, fuck off. Soccer's not a real sport.
Very uninterested in that. But Christian, are you interested? Are you a soccersman? You're allowed to be.
I am not a soccersman.
Okay, no.
And it seems like Messi just kind of sold out to come to this shitty league. I don't really get it.
He's about to break records.
Well, it's because he's getting an ownership stake.
If he was going to sell out, he would have went to Saudi Arabia, where they were offering him as much money as he wanted, essentially.
So
I think I saw the number in Saudi Arabia was 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
3 years, 1.5 billion.
So Vince, what do you think of the whole? Since you brought up the topic, what is your view on this whole Messi mess?
He's coming to the MLS because he's at the end of his career. He's still better than everyone that plays in this league, and he'll probably go down as the greatest MLS player in 3 seasons that he plays here. The record is 34 goals in a season. He'll probably top. He just won a fucking World Cup.
Did Messi make the announcement I'm taking my talents to Miami? Did he do it like that?
Yeah, he did a very LeBron-esque. I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
Well, he reminds me a lot of LeBron in many ways. They're both goats of the sport. They're both.
I don't know if LeBron's the greatest of all time.
All right, we're not having that debate either, dude. They're both up there in the discussion of goats of their respected sports.
He's the GOAT. There's no argument.
And they're both media whores. They're media whores.
Leo Messi is not a media whore.
Oh, they love headlines. They love getting all the attention on themselves. That's why
he
they
doesn't
play
even
for Miami.
speak English.
It doesn't matter. He's going to learn. He's going to learn.
Bro, everybody that's famous.
Messi really does not play great.
So he's
he really does not speak great
now he's
English.
going to come play at the Union Stadium in Chester.
Dude, see?
Yeah.
I'm so hyped for that.
Yo,
I feel bad
to see him play in Chester.
Dude, imagine being Messi and just having to. They're like, yeah, you have to go play the Union now.
They'll force it to the link.
They're in Chester.
I've already seen.
He's gonna put up.
Yeah, they should.
NBA points per game in that league. I swear to God.
I've already seen ticket prices. Ticket prices for Miami versus LAFC have got up to a couple $1,000.
If only Beckham was still playing.
People are, dude. This is listen. I'm not trying. I know you guys don't give a fuck about soccer, but I know you guys don't care about soccer. But this is the greatest soccer player ever is coming to America, And like he is not washed yet. Like he is.
No, he's
not at
not.
all.
He was just the best player for the team that won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it's crazy.
So like he's older. He's not as great as he was in his prime, but he is still
he's the
better than
Jordan
every single player in the
Alvarez
MLS.
of the MLS, I guess.
That's an odd
but-
comparison, but sure.
No.
No.
I mean, he just said he won the World Cup or the whatever.
He's the Shohei Ohtani.
He's the Shohei Ohtani.
There's no real baseball
wrong guy to talk
comparison.
about Ohtani with, by the way. My brother, for those of you who don't know, doesn't think Ohtani's good. So, but that's a whole
That's
different.
No,
not
I never
true.
said that.
It's not
I just
true.
never said that.
I mean, you
I just
said
never
that
He
he's
never.
not.
He has never said that.
No, but
He said he's not.
We're not getting into it.
He said he's
We're
not a
shut the
generational
fuck up.
talent.
Shut the fuck up.
And how is he not a
No,
generational
people were
talent?
saying
No,
he's the greatest
never
player
said
of all
that.
time,
Never
and
said
Pat
that.
said he hasn't done enough to be the greatest player of all time yet. That was the entire
Thank you,
argument.
Pat.
Okay,
Summed it up
that's a
pretty
lot
well.
more valid, I think,
Yeah.
than the original
No,
statement.
but here's the thing. It's funny. It's funny because it brings up a good point. Sometimes when you say anything about a player who is that great, that could be conceived as he's not Jesus Christ himself. Then everyone freaks the fuck out for no reason and thinks you said like he's garbage or something.
So
'Cause
last week,
that's what Seamus does.
Yeah, he's
Last-
reactionary.
last
It's very
week-
reactionary.
sure. Last week,
Reactionary horror.
Pat and Vince and I went to go see Zach Bryan perform at the Wells Fargo Center. Now, a couple things happened that really bothered me about this country concert. All right, I'm
Well,
not a big,
first and foremost is that the performing artist was under the age of 70 years old.
that has zero to
That
do with
bothered
it.
Just for
Seamus
some
very
background
much.
there, Seamus is a boomer.
I'm not.
He is a 26-year-old boomer.
27.
No, I'm
Almost
26.
almost
He's
26.
I'm in my
26
ugly
in physical years, but about 64 in like
Yeah.
mentality
Mental's
years.
just not.
I mean, I just
Yeah,
disagree.
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Anyway,
I
go
disagree,
ahead.
whatever.
Speak your
I mean,
piece.
you
about the
probably
concert.
would disagree, though.
All right,
Like-
That's true.
Christian,
That's true.
Here's something you should know about Vince. His favorite rapper is like an underground guy that you
No,
never
it's Drake.
No,
He's
it's
a
Drake.
total weirdo.
It's literally Drake.
He's a weirdo. He likes weird music.
The most
He's not
mainstream
really
rapper
a
of all
normal person.
time. It's my favorite.
All right, cool. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, last week we saw Zach Bryan perform. And I like Zach Bryan because, like, I don't know, he's a good musician. So I was like, all right, I'll go to this show. We got tickets a couple months ago. And
Surprisingly cheap, $60.
so Pat and I went together, and Vince and his girlfriend went together. And Pat and I went to Chickies and Pete's to have a few beers and, eat a few cheesesteaks. You know what I mean?
They were
And
horrible.
They were horrible. The crab fries hit.
As always.
That's for sure. But the problem is the show was supposed to start at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. This guy doesn't come on stage, Zach Bryan, until like 10:30.
No, he was slated for 9 and he didn't come out until 10.
Dude, it was ridiculous. The waiting was absolutely absurd on a weeknight. And the guy got booed as soon as he walked onto the stage because of how long we were waiting.
He
This
did.
is
It
a
was
lie.
pretty funny.
And I mean, it
No,
was
he literally did get booed.
They got
He
booed before he came out, but once he
And,
people
and
actually
when he came out,
no,
too.
Once people,
Yeah.
I don't maybe
He played open the gate, and he started talking, and people started booing again.
maybe in your section,
pretty
Pat, but
earned
I'm
boo,
telling
I
you,
mean.
down where I was at, no one booed. Everyone went crazy.
Well, yeah, you were in the special people section. We were where the real fans were.
Yeah.
Special people.
we were literally.
Yeah, you were a big rich boy over there.
We-
Oh, I
Down
thought you meant
section
special
100.
as in like special.
We were from the Nosebleeds.
Well, hey, man, that's your interpretation, but I was just talking about people that
He's
paid
very defensive of you
$150.
saying that. That makes you think. That does make you think. But yeah, I mean, it was a good show overall. Would I have gone again if it meant that we had to miss the podcast again? No, not really. I mean, it wasn't that good. It was just good. And the guy's got a good voice, not a great voice. The band was phenomenal.
The band was awesome.
The sound, I will say, at Wells Fargo Center is
Yeah.
trash at every concert I go
Yeah.
to. So
You got to be like right next to the stage,
yes.
otherwise. It's
So
like
you can
fucking
imagine
garbage.
how horrible it was from the Nosebleeds. Yeah,
where
it's not,
the real people sat.
It's not a concert. I would
I'm
ever
getting
go to
shamed for
again.
having better
That's for
seats
sure.
for once in my life.
Yeah. For once, yeah, because it's a concert I didn't really give a fuck about. But Luke Combs, I'm going to spend $8,000 and I'm going to sit
yeah.
right up front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we were last week. But in the meantime,
So a lot of shit happened. I
Yeah,
mean,
a
the
lot of shit
Sixers finally fucking won. Well, I think we already talked about them firing Doc, but finally fired Doc, and we got a phenomenal replacement, in my opinion.
Vince, do the joke.
Oh, did you guys hear that the Sixers went from a doc to a nurse?
Bro, it's-
If I hear that joke made one more time, unironically,
Vince, you're
I'm
the
going
only
to
one that
kill
makes
myself.
that joke.
I make it ironically
That's the
because of
worst
how
joke.
overused it was on the first day.
to be fair, that's a Herb in the Northeast joke too. So
Yeah.
that's Herb in the Northeast, and that's Vince. But yeah, I mean, Do we like the Nurse hire? I certainly do. I think he was the best available option.
The best thing to me is he's a guy that's going to like fucking hold your stars accountable. Like he's not going to take the fucking mopey shit from Joel Embiid. He's going to be like, hey, yo, asshole, like get your shit together. You're fucking sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and then he's going to demand a trade, and it's going to be a disaster.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
He actually he also knows how to be a coach, which you would think would be like you would think it would be like a prerequisite, but like now this thing is going on in the NBA where like these players are so good, and you don't want to lose them. A lot of the times the coaches just say, do it.
Just get a daycare
just
worker.
play.
Yeah.
And that's what I think Doc Rivers was. Doc Rivers didn't really have much of a strategy offensively. He just kind of let James or Joel just get the ball and make a play. But Nick Nurse is a real X's and O's guys. And if you've been watching the playoffs, Miami and Denver, all the off-ball stuff they're doing is giving them so many easy points. We don't do anything off the ball. The Sixers,
it's all ISO ball.
The Sixers don't have an off-ball rotations or anything like that. They don't set screens for a guy unless he literally is just holding the ball. Like, I mean, they do sometimes. That's not a blanket statement, but we don't do it a lot. And when we do it, it's not always the best plan.
And it's also not fluid. It gets disrupted very easily because they don't practice it.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Christian, did you like the Nick Nurse hire?
I did like the Nick Nurse hire because again, I felt like Doc just wasn't there at times, and it felt like no matter who we were gonna face in the playoffs. I mean, of course we got stuck with the Celtics again, but no matter what, we were gonna get outcoached whether we met or we met Miami, and it's just like. Going into that, and with our stars being so whiny and all, whether or not they really want to play or whatever, like we need a coach like Nurse that will hold them accountable, like you were saying.
Yeah, 100%. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked, but if I ran the Celtics, I'm not bringing back Missoula. I know they are.
Yeah, I don't know. Why actually? They hired Cassell, so I mean they're just gonna fire Missoula halfway through the season.
What a snake for that.
I don't blame him at all. He's gonna be a head coach next year. I don't blame him at all.
That actually is a good point. Like he sees Missoula as how we all see Missoula.
Easy pickings.
And it's like, dude, like if I'd be shocked if Cassell's not the head coach of the even the Celtics.
I'm kind of pissed though,
the year after next,
because Cassell is a guy that works really well with guards. Like you saw all the work he put in with Maxey.
Look at him,
even
and
with
Maxey,
Harden.
man. I know.
And they're like Maxey's like his son. He said that like multiple times.
But
and
I kind of think we dodged a bullet not hiring Cassell as head coach.
No, I agree because I mean he is the Doc coaching tree. Like everybody knows that he and Doc are like fucking this.
But why didn't he get a head coaching opportunity somewhere this season again? You know what I mean? Like this guy's never.
I mean, he probably did get interviewed.
The NBA loves these retread hires.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the NBA has we talked about this before, but they have a serious problem with the rotating coaches every 3-4 years.
Yeah.
It's
Frank Vogel getting a job.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Doc Rivers has been surviving off that ring.
My favorite part of the coaching carousel so far this year has been Doc Rivers dropping his name out of the Phoenix Suns job just moments before Frank Vogel was announced. Like, yeah, Doc, you just so happened to drop your name out. It totally wasn't that they hired Frank Vogel over you.
Well, by the way, to get out hired by Wildwood's own Frank Vogel is just embarrassing. Really.
I also loved. I thought it was very funny that the Pistons had to give Monty Williams all that money because it's very obvious. It's very obvious.
$100 million.
It's very obvious he did not want to coach that team.
You can't have shit in Detroit, man.
Yeah, Well, Vince, you actually make a very good point. The reason why he got that money is because he had wanted no parts of that team.
Yeah,
which I don't blame him.
But
they have a somewhat promising future, I guess, with Cade. That's like it.
Yeah, but that's literally it.
No, they have a couple young pieces. Plus, they have a pretty high draft pick this year.
It'll be interesting, and this draft is kind of stacked. So it's
it is. If Detroit plays their cards right, I'll tell you what. I mean, that kid Cade Cunningham. He hasn't really done much yet. But I remember, I mean, maybe I just haven't seen him much yet because it's Detroit. But watching him come up as a prospect, I thought he was going to be a problem.
Well, when he's healthy,
I mean, his skill set, his skill
set. He's a triple double kind of guy.
Is very good, and he can shoot the three. He's kind of like a Ben Simmons with less defense, but can shoot. Which is
so he's just
better,
not Ben
way
Simmons.
better.
So he can be played in the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting back to the Nick Nurse hire, I thought a couple things were interesting in the introductory press conference. Again, I'm not a big fan of the introductory press conference, because you get the same things over and over again. I think they're pointless. I get you have to introduce them to the media and to the fan base, I guess. But I don't think anyone gets anything out of a press conference ever. However,
Well, actually, we got some pretty good nuggets.
But you
out of
watched
Harden
it.
one
But
last
you
year.
watched it anyway.
But the only reason why, and I'm getting into that, the only reason why I watch introductory press conferences
off.
in this city is because we have Howard Eskin. And Howard Eskin, love him, hate him, whatever, he asks the correct questions every single time. Every single member of the Philadelphia media was too much of a bitch to ask him right away about James Harden. Howard Eskin goes straight for the jugular. He did the same thing with Daryl Morey, and he does the same with Nick Nurse. That's one thing you have to respect about Howard.
It's going to be an interesting adjustment for Nick Nurse to get used to the Philly media compared to the Toronto media, where I'm pretty sure a lot of the media is owned by the team.
And
all the media cares about up there is hockey.
And I think what I at least took away from his response to Howard when he was asked about James Harden, period, he hesitated for a while and said James Harden's a great player, pretty much. And I would love to have James back or something to that effect.
He basically just said
Nick Nurse wants any parts of James Harden.
He basically just said James Harden.
I'd rather have his guy Fred.
He just said James Harden has a choice to make. Basically, is all he said.
Yeah, and I don't think he would. I don't think he and Harden would get
James Harden is not a Nick Nurse type player.
No, he's not.
That's not to say Harden won't be back because we don't know. Listen, if you're listening
that's the only thing
if you're listening to sources on Twitter would tell you that the other day Tobias Harris's father was in a restaurant talking loudly about how James was going to be back and Tobias Harris was going to be traded.
That shit is fucking hysterical.
Listen,
NBA insider.
Let's go to the phones.
Tobias Harris's father is his agent.
His agent.
No, yeah.
Toby's dad's his agent.
Yeah.
That was but the whole thing
that's
was,
actually very dumb.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean,
But
he
he
got that
negotiated.
big ass bag.
Yeah,
Like,
he negotiated that huge
really,
contract.
like,
That's
chased
true.
it.
I thought it was funny
he really
though because
abused the absolute shit out of that
If
brand. So.
if you're Tobias, you have to give your dad like all of that.
I thought it was funny because
you could make the argument he's the greatest agent of all time. Seriously, to get Tobias Harris that fucking contract.
Wasn't James Harden his own agent up until very recently?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm pretty
no
sure he
idea.
was.
I think you might be getting him confused with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar was.
No, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure James Harden represented himself until very recently.
No, Embiid does.
For a while.
Embiid does.
He does.
Embiid
Hold on.
represents himself. So he
I
doesn't
think the
have to-
funniest part about the Tobias Harris father, the funniest part about the Tobias Harris father thing is that Pat immediately was like, "This is ridiculous. Like he's just lying." And I was like, you know what? Like this wouldn't even fall. Would this even fall in the top 3 or 5 craziest things that have happened in the Sixers organization within the last 5 years? It wouldn't even make the top 5.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess it like seems ridiculous, but this fucking franchise is ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
But I still think the
You're
funniest part of that about all that was the guy that tweeted it followed up the next day and said, "Just confirmed it was Tobias Harris's dad." It's like, yeah, you just found out, didn't you?
Yeah,
you just found out that Tobias's dad is
It's
his
not like
agent.
he was spending hours trying to confirm
right?
this fact. It's like, no, you were told that this was just Tobias's dad.
But
Anyway,
regardless, I was gonna say the Nick Nurse hiring. Like, I think that to me the most. Listen, Nick Nurse was my number 1 choice. Number 2 was Sam Cassell. Whatever, sad to see him go, but I wanted Nick Nurse the most. The most interesting part of it is just the roster construction and how that's going to play out with if Tobias will get traded, if James will be back. And like, dude, I know it's been a big talking point, but it's true. How will Joel and James, if he comes back, fare on a team coached by Nick Nurse where Nick Nurse plays his stars 40 minutes a
one
game?
Of his criticisms
But-
too is that
but
he
yeah.
plays the stars way too much.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's a
another
bit-
thing. It's
yeah.
like I don't think he's going to be allowed to do that here.
no, yeah.
There's no way.
He will fall over, collapse,
Yeah.
and die.
Yeah.
no, I mean he literally will.
His knee will
You
explode.
go out there and play Joel Embiid 45 minutes every single game for 80 games.
the organization, the Sixers, are not going to allow him to do that to
But-
begin with.
If they did, it would be fucking funny to watch.
It would be very funny.
Did you-
Like it would be.
Wait, Christian,
It
are
would
you
be
familiar
funny.
with the movie Jesus of Nazareth?
The movie.
I mean, all right, Jesus of Nazareth or
James, shut the
or
fuck
Passion of the Christ.
I,
Okay.
Bitch, just strap it in for this
There-
one.
there's a bloody scene in both of those movies, and it's
All right.
basically Jesus like carrying his cross like to the hill
Where are you going with
throw him
this?
on a tree and crucify him, and they beat the fuck out of him, and he's like dying.
Yeah.
That'll be Joel Embiid
Yeah.
after 5
I knew he was
games,
fucking going.
5 games playing
He's just
45
done.
minutes under Nick Nurse.
oh my god.
He's just cooked. So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. My choice, by the way, was Booty. I like the Budenholzer. First of all, he's got a cool ass name.
Nah.
Second of all,
Wait.
I like Booty.
Wait,
third of
He
all,
just wanted the booty hole troll.
yeah, exactly.
one other thing about the Nick Nurse hiring shout out Rice Tricky Sanchez podcast. They did an interview with
What? I am not endorsing a shout out to that guy.
I like the podcast.
All right, cool.
Anyway, they did an
Go
interview.
listen to it. Go
They
listen
did.
to it alone.
Taylor's mad at you.
They did an
Fuck
interview.
Eskin.
They did an interview with a Toronto media member who basically kind of shut down a little bit of the notion of Nick Nurse calling out his players. Like behind closed doors, yes, but it's been very evident in his coaching reigns that he will come out and press publicly role players, but not as much star players in the media. So yes, you hope behind closed doors he apparently will crack down on them, but the whole like calling them out to the media thing, apparently that's kind of a false like notion that he's not going to get in front of the media and like call out Joel or James Harden if they're here.
You know what lineup I can't wait to see on the floor at the same time? Paul Reed, Joel Embiid, Dedmon, and Montrezl Harrell all on the floor at the same
That's
time.
only 4.
Montrezl Harrell
Throw
cannot
somebody
be.
else in there.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris.
Montrezl Harrell cannot be on this roster next year.
He already picked up his option.
I think he picked
didn't
up his option.
Yeah.
So,
God damn
so
it.
the dreaded,
Yeah.
the dreadlock
Or we
master
can
is
we can
back.
include him in a Tobias trade, which would be nice.
Yeah.
That might be
Get back
the
a little
one
more.
guy that they'll say, nah, never mind, I don't want Tobias. But yeah, we'll see what happens with
No,
the
Trez would be good to a young team. So like if you're trading him to like
Hold on.
shit,
I want to just do it like so. We have the Sixers news, the hires. Like obviously the finals are still going on, but the off season's like kind of here for us. It's been 2 weeks since the Sixers were eliminated. Like we're talking about them because of Nick Nurse hiring, but like where are you guys mentally with the Sixers? Because I'm
Don't care
still in
about
like a
them.
bleak state. I'm
Impressed.
done. I'm like
Christian,
I
where are you?
Psychotic.
Christian, where are you like as a fan? Right
He's
now?
like me.
As a fan, no, yeah, we were just talking about this. I was like, I
so
care
you're-
way
you're
too
nuts.
much. Like
Okay,
it's
yeah.
just it's the same thing every year. Each year, it's we got these new role players. Embiid's gonna be better. Embiid's gonna be better.
And then he's just not.
Then he's hurt, and then
Something
and then we
happens.
lose. And
His
the
fellow
second round
countryman
comes around.
rips his face off. You know,
Yeah, like
something happens.
it's just like walking into the same trap every year
Yeah.
and just falling face first.
the definition
I'm
of
gonna keep fucking
insanity.
doing it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
like,
fucking
it's
definition
not
of
gonna stop,
insanity.
But like,
Yeah.
it's just got to be a cycle. at
Vince
that point.
Vince thought he was gonna get out of it this year. He didn't.
I almost,
Did
dude,
it
I
all.
came so close to just not buying in, and then I did it. But like, listen, I'm excited about the Nick Nurse hire, but like, I still am like, I'm not. Obviously, I'm never going to be out on the Sixers, but like right now, like they're dead to me still. Like, cool, you hired the right guy, but like, still, fuck you.
Taylor,
That makes no sense.
What else did you want them to do?
Oh no, I didn't want them to do anything. I still,
He
I
wanted him to
still,
keep Doc.
no, it's not that. It's just that like,
Just feels
I'm
hopeless.
still
Yeah,
mad at them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still mad at them for what they just did.
I think the Sixers need to just hire Danny Briere and Keith Jones, and everything's going to work. I think that's the magic.
They made the right move with the coach, but like that doesn't make up for the fact
Well, we don't know
that they
if they
just
made the right move with the
embarrassed
coach.
all of us in front of
We
the
don't know
whole
that yet.
fucking nation and
I
world.
don't hate the position that they're in right now
Yeah.
because I mean, on one hand, like, can you get to Game 7 against the Celtics again? I mean, probably. Are you gonna win it? Probably not. But at
Well,
the
who
same
knows what the
time-
Celtics are even going to look like next year to begin
Yeah,
with. I
Jalen
mean,
Brown could be gone, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once
I'm
they get-
one more
Once they get rid of him, they start winning shit.
I'm one more loss to the Celtics in the playoffs away from having a full-on mental breakdown.
Yeah, but it's also like
Oh, I was just about to do a great segue, but continue, Pat.
the way that I look at it is that like if you fail this year, you have James Harden locked up, and then you have Joel Embiid too. You can move those players and get probably the biggest haul that the NBA has ever seen.
That's true.
Because
You know what's crazy, Pat? You used the word nightmare, and nightmare is usually synonymous with baseball in this city, right? And
That was the worst transition ever.
I-
that was horrible.
now that was one of my worst.
that was fucking horrible.
That was one of my
When
that was
did
one
I
of my
say
worst.
nightmare?
I don't think
When-
you did.
I don't think he ever said nightmare.
See, that's what happens. I should have cut you off right away, but Vince yells at me about cutting people off.
No,
So now I'm paranoid about cutting people
no,
off.
but that is the best segue. The segue that was never there. And
Exactly.
You just
You just
throw
made
in.
it up.
like
You
Jared
felt
from
like saying
Subway.
it.
The-
Yeah.
the
But
Jared
anyway-
from Subway that was never there.
Philly's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Phillies are back. Vince, I want
Back in Philadelphia, yes.
Yeah, back in Philadelphia, in their hotel rooms or in their wherever the hell they are.
Their houses in New Jersey.
Their houses in New Jersey, like a bunch of rodents. But Vince, I do want to get your thoughts on exactly what the fuck is this Philadelphia Phillies team? Like,
Well-
what are they?
All right, so like I'm still like I've been like, okay, I need the Phillies to be at 500 for me to like. I watch every game and I like
You're a
root
game
for them,
away,
but like
bud.
I still don't believe in them, and it's like listen, I get it. Everyone wants the Phillies to be good so badly after what happened last year. We went to the World Series. But, like, I feel like too quickly we go from – like, we've seen them be really, really, really bad. Even in this national series, their ace gave up 7 earned runs to that dog shit rebuilding roster.
That's your ace, by the way. That's your guy.
Well, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
He does. He stands at Wheeler.
Yeah, but you fucking stand Aaron Nola.
No, I don't.
Okay, let's run the tape back from last year.
2 years ago when he was like a Cy Young.
Oh, let's talk about 6 months ago,
no,
probably.
I never said that.
You literally were saying it last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, I relinquished the Aaron Nola is an ace earlier in the season.
Didn't you only give up on the Phillies 3 times this season?
Yeah, but I'm back. We're back.
3 times already.
Christian, we're back.
So you don't know Seamus very well, but he's a.
You guys want me to? I need to finish the point.
The Phillies as you guys are with the Sixers.
No, he's worse. He's worse.
Go ahead.
Even after that horrible loss, they managed to win that series, and now they're like, playing against the Tigers, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Phillies are back, guys! We have the 4th highest payroll in the MLB, and we just beat the Nationals and the Tigers. Let's slow the fuck."
We didn't even sweep the Nats. We didn't even sweep the Nats.
Well, I'm sick of this non-point that it's like, oh yeah, don't get excited when they beat bad teams. Good teams beat bad teams. Do they not? Like, they're supposed to beat the shit out of these teams.
People need to slow. People need to slow down. People need to slow down though on how
won the series.
You need to slow. People need to slow down on how quick they're trying to talk about the Phillies being like back. Like back in what sense? They
back
beat
in the sense that Trey Turner.
They're back in our city.
Yeah, back here. Back in the sense that Trey Turner looked absolutely fucking lifeless for the entire first 3 months of the season.
Let's see how
he looks like a baseball.
Let's see how Trey Turner looks against the next good team they play.
He is the reason why they're struggling the way they are. Besides the starting pitching.
The pitching's terrible too, right?
They've turned it.
Seamus, we're missing Rhys.
Seamus,
fucking loser.
All I'm saying is, like, let's wait to see how the Phillies start faring against better teams before
the Dodgers are coming to town on Friday.
Yeah, sure, there you go.
Like, you don't have to wait too long.
This was something that people talk about, like, oh, they started off this bad last year. The difference is last year they had a harder schedule at the beginning of the year. This year we've lost series.
They played the A's on opening day.
You're talking about just opening day.
And they only took 2 out of 3.
Last year, the schedule was harder early on. This year, the schedule's been easier, and we've lost series to bad teams. It's not. And also, do you want to start every year?
I don't think that's 5? True, actually.
Go back and look at the schedule.
I honestly don't even think that's true. But whatever. Say it is true. But go ahead.
You can't just start every year shitty. Because guess what? You're not the coach to fire this year to rally the troops because you're not firing Rob Thompson.
You do have Caleb Coffin.
Yeah, I fucking knew you were going to bring that up.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, what does Caleb Coffin provide for this?
Well, Rhys Hoskins can be the manager, is what I've learned.
Oh yeah, big shout out to our. Oh, by the way, Christian, I gotta explain this fucking shit to you.
Oh boy,
this is the lore of the show.
I have created a lot of enemies on social media.
Okay,
right? A lot of enemies, and I'm not violent. I'm not, misogynistic. I'm not.
All your enemies are men.
You are. Yes, you are.
I feel like if you have to preface that, then you probably are.
I'm saying on Twitter, I'm not. In my personal life, on my personal life, sure. Whatever. Every man's a misogynist. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway. Oh, there goes hippie liberal Taylor over there. What? Oh my God, I'm so offended. But anyway.
All your enemies are men.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why'd you even have to throw the misogynist thing in there?
He was trying to make a bit.
I got it, dude. I have to explain my entire life to Christian. Like, he has to know
the whole story. What year you graduated high school?
2015. No, but seriously, let me get back to this.
He had that one ready to go.
Yeah.
There's this psychopath on Twitter, and he goes by
In the Alley
Baseball Podcast.
In the Alley.
In the Alley. And I'm pretty sure that he started interacting with me first, so I started interacting with him first. So I thought that this was just a group of guys that had a baseball podcast that wanted to talk about baseball. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to these people. Like, that's cool. I have a podcast. We can maybe collaborate, a little podcast collaboration. And it turns out this guy is like this lunatic psychopath that has like a fetish for Rhys Hoskins for some reason.
He's almost you.
And all the time,
Yeah, he's almost.
I would tweet about Rhys, like, I would get frustrated with, Rhys Hoskins goes through a lot of slumps and stuff like that. He's a very streaky player. And so I would get frustrated and go on Twitter and use Twitter to vent about Rhys Hoskins sometimes. and about other things. But Rhys Hoskins is what triggered this guy. And he would be like, dude, Rhys Hoskins is amazing. He's the heart and soul of this team. Like, and he would give me these advanced analytics that I'm pretty sure are just made up, quite frankly. And he would just be like, yeah, his WQRSTUV plus minus 3 is way above average, dude. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what that is. I don't care about that. All I know is he's hitting 100, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's look at it like how it is, okay?
So you found Rhys Hoskins' burner.
It might be Reese's.
Well, no, we
it
actually know
could
it's
be.
not because he finally put out a podcast episode. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
So for the longest
did.
time, he didn't actually have a podcast, but his
He-
page was called In the Alley Baseball Podcast.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
So,
he
I
didn't
mean-
put out.
Okay.
He's had the page for probably like 4 years.
Yeah.
My-
So
my
for the
page is
last
Pat Doyle
4 years,
podcast.
he's been just
Yeah.
in the alley
Yes.
alone.
Yeah.
Yes. But, yes, exactly right. But
Being
Chris-
alone in the alley sounds really scary.
Yeah, I mean,
Christian, here's my point. My point about this is like
He's not in a alley though. He's in the alley.
this guy.
Oh, the one.
This guy is like obsessed with me now.
Yeah,
And-
it's very
and-
bizarre.
Dude,
Really?
it's crazy. I could block him, but I don't want to block him because I kind of like to look at him.
It's
Seamus-
entertainment.
yeah.
You're feeding into it a little bit.
Dude,
Yeah,
I kind of love it.
Seamus fucking loves it.
Sam's right. I kind of love it, but no, I mean, I kind
You
of.
only mention this account every other episode.
yeah.
every episode.
But Christian,
I mean,
this
you
is where
gotta
I
milk it for
have a problem with
content.
This guy. I
Yeah.
always say this. I always say, let's go on from the Nosebleeds and debate, or I'll go on your podcast and debate. Does that not seem fair?
Yeah.
Like,
You'd
is
be
that
doing
fair?
him a big favor by going on his podcast, considering you have like 13,000 followers on Twitter.
I know. So I don't
Shout out Chipper
understand.
Jones.
I don't want. Yeah,
Bro.
shout out Chipper Jones.
Bro, a Seamus in the alley podcast where they just like fucking beef with each other would be so funny.
Throw
Or
Mike Butts in there.
Maybe we could
I think
organize.
They're gonna
like,
go
Do
in the
rough and
alley.
rowdy.
I don't know if you want to go in the alley.
I'm not
man.
trying to go in that
Yeah,
alley.
seriously, some sort of like rough and rowdy like charity event where you could fight him for charity.
I think he needs the charity money. Like, I'm not even kidding.
To get
he
out
would
of the
kick
alley.
Seamus's
Get out of the
ass.
alley. But dude, I mean, I don't know, dude. This guy just really grinds my gears, man.
Rhys Hoskins must have saved this man like from a house fire or something, because anytime you
Oh my
mention
God,
Rhys
go on.
Hoskins' name and you say Rhys Hoskins has a slightly off day at the plate, you could tweet
Oh,
something
most
like
days.
oh man, Rhys Hoskins, that last at bat wasn't great, and this guy will hop in your mentions like, what the fuck did you just say about Rhys Hoskins, you fucking
That's
moron.
Don't you
extremely
ever
accurate.
talk about
No,
Rhys
that's
Hoskins?
that's a literal
He
like
searches
thing.
for Rhys Hoskins like it's like his brand.
No, he
or
just
something.
he has noties
And
on
he
for
goes to
Seamus.
war.
I swear he definitely has noties on for Seamus.
We've
100%.
beat to death like the Rhys Hoskins thing in the city, but like
By the way,
he
we're
is
not
the
advocating
he's
beating
the
Rhys Hoskins with
no,
this.
he's the
I-
face of it. These Rhys Hoskins like diehard fans, which I don't know how the fuck he cultivated. They
He's the number one
manufacture.
Phillies boy.
Dude,
They
okay. All right, let's be
What?
honest. Let's be honest. Not for nothing. Rhys Hoskins' diehard fans are women. Okay, it's women and this guy. That's all it is.
But they cultivate this hate for Rhys that like we don't even have. The only reason it seems like we hate him is because we have to combat these other people who think that he is this flawless baseball player.
Vince, can you explain real quick the graphic that you made like a couple months back?
Wait, the dude, I was literally about to bring that up.
Yes, with our buddy Mike Butts, who's also
Oh.
a stalker of mine.
Former, he blocked you.
Vince, explain what was it? What did
Is he talking about the Civil War graphic?
Yes, yes. There was a
That
Civil
and
War
the
graphic.
the Reese wife graphic
Oh,
was
that
one of
was
my
great.
favorites.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
No,
Somebody,
but like
somebody photoshopped Seamus's face onto Reese's wife in the
everything
wedding.
comes off as everything.
So I would post it every time Reese hit a home run or something.
That's
And this
fine.
in the alley guy would be like,
So fucked up, bro. What the
bringing
fuck?
someone's family in this is crossing the line. I'm like, dude, what?
He did say that.
Yeah.
Anything less than sucking the dick of Rhys Hoskins is hating him to his fans.
Yeah, but dude, oh my god.
Seamus,
Like, I've-
Seamus does thrighten his family with death.
For the record,
I have.
for the record,
He's done that.
me and Seamus had an interaction with this Twitter account literally like 2 days ago, in which I said something. He said like, "Yeah, dude, that's why you think Rhys Hoskins shouldn't even be able to wear a baseball uniform." And I've never even said I don't want him on the Phillies.
Wait, let me
I've just
pull
said that
this
he
up.
isn't that great.
Christian, this exchange is completely bizarre. So like,
I'm kind of excited. This is all over the place.
dude, one of the like reporters for like the Iron Pigs or some shit, like one of the Phillies like minor league affiliates, randomly tweeted out, random thought, but I think Rhys Hoskins would be a great manager one day. And I'm like, first of all, how and like why are you thinking about this? Like,
No, Seamus, did I not before that tweet even happened? Did I not send in our group chat the worst part of the Phillies blowout win over the Tigers was going to be that all the Rhys Hoskins fans were going to be like, we won so great because our number one boy was finally back in the
And
dugout.
that's exactly what happened.
It literally happened like 2 hours later. You're getting tweets about why Rhys Hoskins would be a great manager.
I swear to God, I saw that tweet and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are we talking about this? And I shit you not, this was before I knew this In the Alley guy had like an obsession with Rhys Hoskins. I kind of forgot about that. I remember I saw that tweet and I scrolled down. That guy replied and he was like, oh yeah, I think the same thing. like with a period and everything to really let you know.
Christian, here's what happened, all right? This guy, Adam Mack, at Adam Mack MLB, which is bizarre that he has MLB in the handle, considering he works for, the Iron Pigs.
The minor league baseball.
The fake MLB.
Yeah, but he forgot to put the I there, dude. But he goes, not sure what made me think of this. Neither do I.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, right?
He goes, not sure what made me think of this, but I firmly believe this. Period. Long space. Double space.
So it's getting dramatic.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a real
dramatic.
announcement.
Rhys Hoskins is going to make a great MLB manager after his playing days are over. Period. And In the Alley responds, I tend to agree.
No, yeah. That's the one I'm talking about.
And then Vince and I said, based on what?
Like, what has led you to this conclusion?
like
He's
how?
got a good beard and he looks good in the dugout.
And then I said,
it.
and this is true. I said, In the Alley said Raul Ibanez has zero managerial experience, which is true. And he said he wouldn't be a good choice for manager. But Rhys Hoskins, who has zero experience and is still playing, will be a great manager. Wild stuff.
Like,
Wow.
literally the only thing they have to base this like random made up argument off of is like, oh, well, he's a good locker room guy. It's like, dude, there's a fucking ton of good locker room guys in the MLB. They're not all going to be good managers.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's just racist against Latinos.
Yeah, probably. You know what?
I mean, we've seen what the guy looks
He's
like.
from Northeast Philly.
I mean,
so.
Rhys Hoskins isn't Latino, so.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
he's not. But Christian, he goes, I think when he's done playing, he will take a similar path line to coaching like Brian Roberts, Skip Schumacher, Rob Thompson, Dusty Wathan. First of all, Wathan isn't even a manager. He's the Phillies' third base coach.
No. Seamus. First of all, where is this idea that Rhys Hoskins is going to be a manager coming from?
Has he ever said, I would like
It's
to
literally
be a
because he
manager?
was standing at
It literally is just
With a beard.
It literally is what I said before that tweet. They were
He's
going to
gonna
give
pick
all the credit for this win to Rhys Hoskins being back in the dugout.
But Vince, this is my favorite part. He goes, Seamus, what would make Raul a good manager and Rhys not one? I said, that's literally what I'm asking you. I said, there's zero evidence either one of them would be a good manager. And then In the Alley goes, Rhys's leadership, his presence, good communicator. I've never even heard him talk. Understands the players, has tons of respect around the league. How do you know that?
Are you in the locker
You
room?
were
right,
Like,
like-
are you the one
on the
there?
He might be. He might have planted like a
Dude,
camera.
He's
got a
acting
body
like,
cam on Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
he's
he's got it in the showers. 'cause
He's
he wants
acting
to-
like this guy is like Luke Gehrig. Like, oh my God, he's respected around
He is.
the league.
He is.
This
He's,
is the tweet. This is the tweet I had in this thread that I will add that sums up the entirety of my opinion on like the Rhys Hoskins thing. We were talking about the manager thing, and he was whatever, and I said, this is why the fan base is so divided on Rhys Hoskins. Half the fan base are so obsessed with the dude and how he's, quote, our guy, that they'll turn a blind eye to him being a pretty average or below average player who's abysmal on defense, and now he's there for one win against the Tigers, and suddenly he'd make a good manager. Got to be one of the most overrated athletes in Philly recent history.
I mean, like,
him and Aaron Nolan.
that's true. Whatever, dude. This guy's obsessed with Rhys Hoskins. I think it's hilarious. I think it's certainly worth a podcast discussion about Philly sports.
I think you're secretly in love.
I just can't.
I'm not talking about In the Alley in specific.
I just can't get over him saying.
Cult-like following of this guy.
I just can't get over him saying to me, that's why you think Rhys Hoskins shouldn't even have an MLB uniform. It's like, bro, I've never even said I don't want him on the Phillies. I've just said he's not that great.
Yeah, I know.
He's just not that great.
The guy jumps to like
He's making shit up.
He just
Yeah,
makes shit
he
up.
always does
He
that.
goes to extremes.
He's like Seamus.
I literally just took the words right out of my mouth.
That's why.
Maybe that's why they argue so much, you know? Like, they're too
You guys
much,
just
they're
gotta
too
kiss and
similar.
it'll like fade away. You
I don't
know?
know. Never mind.
Passionately.
Take him to a Bruce Springsteen concert. Work everything out.
Dude,
I mean, like,
during Dancing in the Dark. Ooh.
he might like Bruce. Wait, should I tweet him? I'm going to tweet him right now. All right, hold on. Let's see here. I'm going to be like, hey, look.
this is-
Text that stripper too. Did she ever get back to you?
No.
The one you asked who was
No,
the
she
hottest
did.
Philly?
Oh, yeah, she did get back to me. And
What
I
was-
read the response on air.
Oh, did you? I don't
And she was
remember.
like, well, which one? I was like, I'm asking you that. All right. At ITA Baseball Pod, giving you a plug, buddy. Do you like Bruce Springsteen?
Imagine, I think it would be the best thing for this character arc if he hates Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my god, I hope he does. That'd be fucking phenomenal.
Like
Chris, what do you think
despises
about
him.
his bio?
What do you mean? I'm sorry?
Listen to his Twitter bio. Baseball podcast 50%, Phillies 50%, MLB 100%. Good talks. BDB equals beer dip baseball.
Wow.
Beer
So
dip
Corey.
and baseball in the alley.
Wow.
What did you want?
Sam's going over there like, hell yeah, brother.
I'm not trying to like.
Sam's like, I'll listen to that this week. Woo!
taking that guy to a Fish concert.
Dude,
You have
I
to
love
be.
how his percentages don't add up to 100.
yeah, dude, it's
50 and 50?
100?
Yeah.
100 Rhys Hoskins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it might as well say.
I guess he's like a superhuman or something. He's got.
Dude,
He
you
can
have
get
to
more
be
than
like an
one, though.
established name or person to have a solo podcast. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I mean, listen.
Well, apparently, according to him, he
Yeah,
recorded
no,
episodes
you're right.
back in the day.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
a solo podcast,
With a friend.
but nobody's ever. Nobody's heard.
it's
of
just
it.
it's just the voices in Pat's head.
It's just me like.
I honestly tend to just disagree with that, Vince, only because our buddy Broads like kind of started. Our buddy Broads kind of started
Our
like
buddy?
his own. I mean, he's a friend. I have his number. I text him. He texts me. It's
Wow,
a thing.
cool.
It's
Cool
a thing.
brag.
I also have John
All right.
Barterd's number. Do you? But anyway,
Who's that?
I don't know. Some guy that talks like this. Go Birds!
It's funny because Taylor's friends with them.
Yeah, Taylor's literally their producer who
Yeah.
isn't their producer now because
Oh, yeah, what
John
happened?
tweeted
You're
that
out?
they have a new producer now. It's a whole.
Yeah, this is Taylor's getting fired episode.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so is that why you're back here? Because like they're like, now you're done.
No, we have so much going on. I can't.
Sure,
Man.
dude. Sure,
Yeah.
dude. Whatever you say.
Yeah, I got fired. Yeah, this is all shit.
No, I'm not saying you got fired. I'm saying maybe they moved on.
No, he
Whoa,
got
wait,
fired.
where's Jake?
we're rocking it with the Taylor
Where
got
is
fired.
Jake the paramedic, by the way? Where
He's
is
being
he?
a paramedic.
Okay.
Does anybody have if anybody out there has any job listings, Taylor might need them.
Yes, please. I can't.
All right, hold on.
You can start
Well,
producing for the.
God knows he needs a better sound
He
quality.
needs a producer.
To rein all
Lord
this in,
knows I don't have enough going on.
to rein all this in, Seamus, you started off asking me, where are you at with the Phillies?
Yes, I did.
Now we're talking about Taylor
Little
getting
off
fired.
topic. Yeah, a little off topic. Christian, we tend to do that
Yeah,
here.
I was explaining it to him earlier.
But Christian, you honestly caught us at a bad this is a bad time because we missed. You're obviously
2
always
weeks.
welcome, but you're not seeing me in my prime. Me
Oh,
in my
your
prime, dude. Me in my prime, like as a podcaster, I put the likes of Stephen A. Smith to shame.
Starts talking about 9/11.
Yeah, dude. Airplane.
ESPN would love you.
I thought we were gonna get through one episode without.
Dude, we talked about it before the show. It was already a part of it.
No,
seriously.
but it wasn't on the air.
No, but seriously, like when we miss like 3 weeks in a row, that's bad because like we're all out of rhythm and it's just a disaster.
Oh, especially when
because
Vince isn't here because
because-
he usually just like
yeah.
smacks us.
And also
Vince
I
abuses us.
don't function well when one of us is like doing what Vince is doing.
I'm like the Rhys Hoskins of this podcast. I'm like the most important. I need to be in the building.
You kind of look like him now. You got the short hair and the beard.
You
Yeah.
I've actually been liking
need
it.
to be in
Holy
the building.
shit.
You look like you just got out of prison.
Taylor,
You kind of look like.
I do
He looks
believe
like
Taylor
Mike
said on the episode where I got my head shaved. I do believe Taylor said I would start liking it. I think I'm actually there. I don't
Yeah,
mind it.
yeah.
Vince, I've been
knew
trying
it.
to tell you this for
I
years.
knew it.
You have a nice face, dude. Like, don't,
Oh my god.
don't
Jesus
cover.
Christ.
It's not great, but I mean,
You
don't.
tell Sam that every day too, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but he needs to get back in the gym. And so do I, to be fair. But we're not talking about me.
Sam just gave Seamus a look. he's like, what the fuck?
You know what that look is? Somebody's not coming to fish with me this summer.
Ah.
That's what that look is. God
hard.
damn.
All right, Seamus, all this to ask again, where are you at with the Phillies?
All right, so the Phillies have pissed me off tremendously throughout the entire season. We've had our downs and we've had our downs, and we are trending sort of in the right direction. I put on social media that I'm back in on the Phillies, which I'm not actually, because like when you think about it, what you said earlier about the Nationals and what you said earlier about the Tigers, that sort of rings true with me. We will get either exposed as a horrible baseball team, which I don't think this team is deep down based on like the payroll and based on the talent on this roster. But this Dodgers series at home is going to tell you a lot about where the Phillies are.
The other thing to me too, honestly, is if you look at last year and you look at the run they made in June after Girardi got fired, They started against a shit team. It was against the Angels.
Yeah, no, that's
and
true.
that was the Angels without Mike Trout or
Yeah.
Ohtani.
Yeah, they were both
Sometimes
out.
you got to beat up on somebody.
Yeah.
You get that confidence back up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We got to give a.
flowing again.
It's like what they
Exactly.
talk about with basketball. You make a layup. If you're not hitting threes, all of a sudden you're making threes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
we've
that
gotta see it
builds,
go in.
and then you go
I
on a
always
run.
thought that was bullshit, but it is a nice sentiment.
We've
'Cause,
we've
like,
talked about
It's really different. You know, I'm not gonna harp too much on it, but like those are two very different modes.
I know, but you just got to see the ball go through the hoop.
Yes.
we've talked about the negatives of Trey Turner and Aaron Nola,
I don't.
but I feel like just for a second, like we got to give a huge shout out and like so much credit to Nick Castellanos
Oh my god!
and what
yeah,
he's
he
done
was-
this season.
Yeah.
He is an
What's he
all-star.
batting? Like
Turn it
three?
on.
He's batting like over 315 right now, I believe.
315, I believe.
He's
Yeah.
turned it on.
I bet on him yesterday. Anytime home run.
Oh,
Did not, yeah.
the only run they got
You
was
should've bet
the
on Schwarber.
Yeah, immediately. Like,
Oh yeah,
Well, by the way, June Schwarber.
It's June.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, dude,
It's June, baby. We're back.
It's always been a thing, but now it's like certainly a thing.
I'll tell you what.
It's gotta be a
since,
bit by
since
him.
being
It is.
June.
I think it is.
he's
Since it became
pretending.
June, I have been a little bit more on the Phillies, like regardless of whether they're winning or not.
Yeah.
Just because it's June, it seems like they play well in June.
Yeah, it feels like a good month
Yeah.
for the Phils.
Yeah.
Hopefully the smoke like doesn't kill any of them because
Yeah.
we all know they don't have masks.
Yeah,
so-
Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Cut that.
It's unfortunate.
But Christian, are you have you been following the Phillies?
I was at the game yesterday.
Oh,
That's
nice.
why I put a bet down. But I
Good
mean, just
win,
kind of here and there.
Yeah.
Here and
So, like, how was the vibe there yesterday? Like,
there was a lot more people there than I thought there was gonna be just for some random Tuesday night.
and that's how it's been all season.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I
it
think
was nice.
I think
Yeah.
the fans last year, they kind of saw them go on a run, and they were not showing up this time last year.
Mhm.
Even when they started on that winning streak, they weren't showing up.
well,
So-
I think the Phils needed that though.
and they did, and
Needed
I
a little
think
kick in the ass.
I think this fan base realized that hey, listen, this is still the defending National League champions.
Yeah.
They have severely underperformed. They were in the World Series last year. They have a top 5, 6, 7 player in baseball in Trey Turner and Bryce Harper.
Top 3 in Bryce.
And yeah, so I mean, like, there's a lot to be excited about with this team. It's just I don't know if they have enough pitching to sustain them
Yeah.
from that number 4 spot.
That's
listen,
the pitching's
man.
my biggest concern.
Yeah, but they have turned a corner recently outside of the outlier start by Zach Wheeler, who we
And of
all
course
know.
it was right after he was cooking too.
Yeah,
Like he was
I know.
cooking for like a week or two, and then
Yeah,
all of a
against
sudden
the
he
Braves,
fucking.
we watched that game
Yeah.
together, and that
It
was,
was
a great
phenomenal.
start in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Truist Park's always been a house of horrors for Aaron Nola, but you
Yeah.
know that's just he does
Not Ranger Suarez though.
does not pitch well there. Yeah. But like those guys have been good lately.
Yeah.
But so that's a positive. Taijuan Walker yesterday, you got to see him pitch a gem.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's like
Phenomenal.
if these guys are starting to turn it around, they do, however, need to get on the phone with the Cleveland Guardians and trade for Shane Bieber.
Yeah.
Because there was a report today out of Cleveland that they are shopping him. Veteran right-hander has a 3.57 ERA. Cleveland's got a lot of young pitching. They don't need him. He's in a contract year, I believe. Could be wrong. Maybe a year left after this. I'm not sure. But he is available. He's got a WAR, 1.4 WAR already this season. They're getting nothing out of that last spot with the likes of Covey, what was Bally Falter's spot. Strom is not a starter. So it's like, dude, Dombrowski, that is one pressing need that we have. We don't need offensive upgrades on paper. This is like one of the best offenses in baseball. You need to go out there and solidify the number 4 spot. So I say go trade for fucking Bieber right now. What do you think, Vince? Do you like Bieber? Now we can't hear
lost
you.
the audio.
See, this is the goddamn shit show. It's a shit show, Taylor. You're ruining Christian's
I
first
agree.
experience. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's better.
Taylor,
than
you're
the-
fired.
Well,
Oh
it's,
no.
Start yelling.
it's a better pod than the other one that comes in here after us. I guarantee you that. But you know, it is what it is.
My guy's got the Turtle
So-
Beaches over there.
Can
there
you
we
hear
go.
me?
There we go.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm for that signing. I think that trade. I think it's one of the better options they have, and I agree with what you said about the lineup. Shouldn't need any improvements on paper. This lineup should be one of the best in baseball. So like, if they're not like, if they're, let's just call it what it is. There's really no trade to be made in the lineup. Like, if this lineup isn't going to succeed, then that's kind of where your team lives and dies. But the rotation is something that you can improve and should improve.
They need to go out there and grab a 4th, 5th starter.
Bring
Because
back Noah Syndergaard.
I mean, honestly, man, like
I feel bad. Did you see that video of him saying he'd give his hypothetical firstborn to go back to the player he used to be? because he was like so depressed about how he's been playing bad.
I mean, he made his bread.
Dude, if I'm his kid, like I'm like, what the fuck, Dad? Like
also, that's
seriously.
like a stupid thing to say. I think. Like, I don't even understand that.
He just talking about how he like feels bad that he's like letting his team down. He can't compete the way he used to.
I mean,
look at the
Right.
Grom too.
I mean,
though.
he should.
oh god,
Rangers-
He should feel bad about that.
Rangers are what 20 games over, 30 games over 5.
dude, that is a juggernaut.
and also, but now DeGrom, like, what do they do with him in the future? I
I
know
don't-
they like built in insurance. I forget what it was. It was like they were trying to figure out insurance for his contract.
Mm.
Literally,
They better like they better
Yeah.
have done something.
I mean, he's getting
Listen,
Tommy John again. He's out all year.
I know that he was on the Mets and like he's an enemy, but like it definitely sucks we haven't gotten to see the healthy version of the best pitcher of this generation. Like
Dude,
I
when-
feel like
I
for
honestly
when he
long.
think
pitched
Steven
this
Strasburg
year-
was the best pitcher of this generation, and we were
What was
robbed
Zach
of him
Greinke
too.
with
yeah, we were
He's
robbed
up there.
with him
Yeah,
as
and
well.
Zach too.
At a certain point, pitching is
Was
just
Alba.
not emotion human beings should be doing.
By the way,
like, your
breaking
body
news,
can't handle that shit.
Taylor, can
Yeah.
you give me a little breaking news
I agree,
music?
Pat.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Da-na-na-na.
Thanks, Taylor. From the Nosebleeds breaking news. In the Alley has responded to my "Do you like Bruce Springsteen?" tweet. You guys want to know what it says?
I think it's a yeah.
It's a why.
Dude,
It's a valid. That's a
That's
valid
the other thing he
response.
always
Why?
does.
Why?
That's the other thing he always does. He'll just never actually straight up
Why?
answer a question. He'll just be like, okay.
Just why?
Why?
That's a valid response, though.
Christian, what should I say next?
You just asked him out of nowhere
I
if he
don't-
liked Bruce
I just
Springsteen.
say because I'm a huge Bruce fan.
You should probably just stop talking to that freak on the internet. Wait, no, I'm sorry. If that guy's listening, like, I'm sorry, bro. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, dude. I like your podcast.
He probably does listen. Like, there's no doubt in my mind he listens.
I like your podcast.
There's no
you
doubt.
ever
What's your
listen?
favorite part of that podcast?
Yeah.
My favorite part of that
Yeah.
podcast is the part where he talks.
Is it the dip? Or is it the beer?
He
or is it
dips
the base?
on the podcast.
Well, his voice
But
sounds
PDB.
horrible, so probably.
We should start doing that.
I mean,
Dip it on a
Live dip.
podcast?
No, yeah, that would be really good for
I got some
keeping,
dip.
I think
the
Vince needs
microphones
to.
clean, like
Yeah.
spitting all
Yeah.
over them.
Oh, yeah.
Very sanitary
Spit
in this,
into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
in this 3 years post-COVID world that we're living in.
Can I grab a liquid death? Is that like
Yeah,
allowed?
sure, go grab one.
No.
Sam, go
Am
grab
I allowed
one.
to?
Yeah,
No.
There's
it's
a
fine.
case right over here. I'm
Only,
gonna grab
only
it.
if you give me your thoughts on Zion Williamson.
Ooh,
Zion
wow.
Williamson.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah, we got to
okay.
talk about that.
Christian,
we got to talk
Christian,
about that.
what are your thoughts on Zion first?
This is like I feel like this is like the third time bro's been caught on Snapchat since like he was at Duke. I feel like I've been seeing
Yeah.
stuff like this for so long now.
The poor
That's
guy.
like, bro, what are we
This
doing
is a
here?
disaster. This is
I feel bad for
we
the
got,
poor
we got
guy.
a little bit of the
Trade.
God meme right there.
an absolute disaster. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
just
dude,
kind of
like-
blanked out.
But like, he's one of those. Zion's one of the most like frustrating players in all of sports. He's just like Sam just said. He's too morbidly obese. Direct quote. And it's
Wow.
just.
I think people are
Yeah.
overreacting.
No, but he is.
I just think it's funny. It's
I
not
think it's
really like
hysterical.
a storyline. but-
He-
No, yeah,
I
He's
think
such a Sixer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That guy-
never
No.
plays.
no,
no, he's a sexer.
dude, he's
Yeah.
such a Sixer.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Never
Apparently
plays.
not a good one.
I mean, who is good?
I
on
mean,
the
he never
Sixers?
played. I mean, this.
Oh, no,
is
no, I was saying a
organization
good
that nearly
Sixer.
Killed a player because he had a peanut allergy. So
Yeah.
I mean, this guy. Would
And
thrive
also
here.
gave
Sesame
up
seed.
now a what
Sesame.
25 point per game player for that player that almost
No,
died.
no, no. Guys, I was saying
But that's a good move, right?
I was saying he's apparently not a good sexer.
Oh,
Get it?
That does. That's really good.
Or maybe
Well,
he's too good
Taylor
that
came
he
up
keeps
with
getting
it.
in trouble.
well, at least me.
I like
Yeah,
it.
Well,
he's hitting it raw too much.
Yeah.
Like Sheamus in Target.
Yeah.
Honestly, he
He
doesn't.
definitely shops at Target.
Oh, he's taking a lot of girls to Target.
He's always in Target.
I don't think he really does anything that's too crazy. I mean, like,
Zion Williamson is on a first name basis with the Target employees.
He's got a great baseball name, though.
what do you expect?
What?
The guy watches
Zion
anime,
Williamson.
You know, he's not good with women.
No, he's not
You
good
know.
with women.
He just
I'm
needs to
Honestly-
protect.
I know
Yes.
firsthand.
I think we had a friend earlier in our group chat say Zion is like the most unproblematic player who constantly gets quote unquote exposed for things.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's because of all the like how famous he is because of who he was supposed to be,
Like,
who he wasn't.
like that
college,
one
like-
that
And he's just
that
fat.
one had happened in college.
Now he just
The one
he's
that
supposed
happened
to
in
Wendy's-
college-
Wendy's 5 times a day.
I mean,
The
like
one that
when
hap-
the dude plays, he is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's- I mean,
The
But it's like-
scandal.
his body's just not meant for this. I don't think.
Yeah, he's kind of
It's
like
like Joel
Steven-
Embiid.
like Steven Strasburg. You know?
No, yeah, no, seriously. I
It is
mean, like,
it is like a decent comparison.
yeah,
honestly.
there's certain athletes who are really good at what they do, and they're so good that they destroy their bodies from it. And I mean, probably the best example is probably Bo Jackson.
I was gonna say Doc Rivers.
His career was ended by an injury that only horses get. Because his legs were so muscular,
Yeah.
That doesn't sound correct.
Well, because he played 2 sports.
Oh, he did. That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Remember when Zion Williamson?
He was like
remember
80
when
pounds.
Zion Williamson caused that Nike shoe to like explode on his foot?
Like
Yes.
that's not a normal man. Like what he? I mean, like
He's a fridge with pogo sticks.
Yeah.
That's
seriously,
what he is.
seriously,
what he is.
Like that dude is just different. I mean,
Different good or different bad?
I mean,
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess good because he made it farther with his career than probably 99.999 infinity people will ever do.
The funniest part to me,
he might never play again. He's already set for life.
the funniest part to me is that they just signed him to that extension last year.
Yeah,
Like, why would you
Like,
do
and that kicks in
you
this year.
have to. You have to.
You do, because I
You
mean,
can't let him
you
on.
see,
Yeah.
you like the Pelicans with him this year were in fucking first place for like
Yeah.
the first quarter of
And,
the season.
Like they have talent on the other, on the
Yeah.
rest of their team too. With Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon
and
Ingram was
like
balling.
CJ.
Yeah, no, they have a good roster. I said last year going into this season, I was like, don't sleep on the Pelicans to win the West because if Zion's playing, they have a lot. He has a lot of help. But
and the West fucking sucks.
yeah,
The Brandon
I
Ingram
agree.
thing is weird because
He
Brandon
sucks.
Ingram also missed a bunch of time last
He
year.
did.
Like
He did.
leading to CJ McCollum making those comments at the end of the year, like, next year, you know what we need to do to win? We need to actually have players on the court.
yeah.
Well,
I
speaking
feel
of
like
got
they
a
said
good
that
point.
the year before. Like, you kind of said that coming into this
that's
year.
just a broken record with that
Yeah.
team. But speaking of Zion, Chris Christie has announced he's running for president. And,
Speaking of overweight men,
and I honestly, this is not a political show at all, but honestly, like this is too funny to ignore. Chris Christie is, not a thin man by any stretch of the imagination. I would say.
Fat shame.
No, I'm not fat shaming, but
I
I'm
like
just,
Chris Christie. I'm not gonna count.
dude.
I like him.
What do you
Wait,
like about him?
Wait, Pat
I
Doyle-
he
remember.
closes bridges.
No,
Matt Doyle, much like Stephen A. Smith,
is-
has just endorsed Chris
No.
Christie on a sports podcast.
Completely like independent of politics. He was on TV when I was younger, and I thought he was funny.
Because he was fat.
remember when
No,
Chris
he
Christie?
he just seemed like a.
It was
like,
'cause
I
he was
thought the
fat.
same thing
regular
about
dude.
Trump.
Yo, he watched the Hurricane
Yeah.
Sandy press conference
Yeah.
when he was like, "Get off the fucking beach,"
And then he was
Yeah.
on the beach.
and
the
then,
next
Yeah.
and
day.
then he was on the beach. And
I was just
I
about to
was
say
like,
that.
fucking
I was
love
like,
that
look
guy.
at this hero.
Yeah, but anyway, so
I see.
Zion-
You know what? Pat made a really good point. I'm
Yeah.
with him. Yeah.
I mean, no.
no.
Is that another? Is that an
remember-
endorsement from Taylor too
Yes.
for Chris Christie?
I remember.
It's a very
Wow.
convincing argument coming out.
Wow,
Marion Williamson, Chris Christie.
two peas in a pod.
He
Yeah.
teamed up with Obama too. During
How about a
that shit,
Christie
if
Williamson
you
double
remember.
bill? I like that.
Who's Vice?
Christie, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, he's not fit enough to serve. He could serve. He could serve sort of.
The
That's what vice
insults.
So what if
presidents
We
do.
can self-serve.
He can serve gumbo
What if we did Chris Christie and Zion?
together in a room?
together.
No.
For president?
Who's doing what?
I'm saying Zion president because I mean I think he's more
He
stable.
fucks.
And he does fuck. we need to
he
get
actually-
Bill
we
Clinton
know he
back
was
in the
God.
White
Dude,
House.
we need Bill Clinton
We
back.
need Clinton back in there, and not
Zion
Hillary.
for president.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
need a misogynistic sex addict back in the White House.
Taylor.
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Actually, you know what? Fuck
Vince-
it.
Deshaun.
Vince, thoughts on Deshaun Watson for president?
Fuck it. Zion Watson 2024.
We've had worse.
We have had worse.
Yeah,
we have had
that's
worse.
a fact, especially the 9/11.
The insults that Trump will throw at Chris Christie and Ron DeSantis during like a primary debate will be. It's going to be must-watch TV.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, it's gonna be
I can't
phenomenal.
wait. I was actually thinking of talking to Jake, our other producer, because we have like a hybrid producer situation going on right now. But Jake, our other producer, I thought was the guy that we had to talk to about like the show now because Taylor's like doing something else, but Taylor's back now, and sometimes Jake's not here. Whatever, it's a whole cluster. But I was talking to Jake about maybe doing a From the Nosebleeds live stream of the August 23rd debate. Of the GOP debate because
that's-
it's
Oh my
dude, it's gonna be so funny. We can talk about Philly sports. We can do some
What?
weird
don't-
shit revolving
Where's the
politics.
connection?
There is none.
No.
But that's the
Well,
none of
hold
them
on,
will
hold
come
on.
up.
I would definitely say there's a way to weave the GOP debate into a conversation about the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah,
definitely
no,
is.
you could,
Dude.
100%.
I'm telling you, it's gonna work.
Because Bryce, he supports. He's an ally now.
Yeah, he's
Apparently.
an
There's the
Apparently.
rainbow belt.
Yeah, you know what? I hate to say it. he's been wearing that for years.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but like,
But I don't think
he's
it has
an
anything
ally.
to do with it. I hope it does, but
He
whatever.
just likes rainbows. He doesn't
Yeah, I
know
think-
what they represent.
I think he just likes rainbows, to be honest.
He
Him
thinks
and
if
Alan
he wears
Jackson,
it, he'll
man.
find a leprechaun.
Yeah. He'll find
Yeah,
out
if you
what's
if you guys
It's not a
wanna
bad strat.
if you guys wanna go on the internet and see something totally normal, scroll back to the Philadelphia Phillies. I think it was their Facebook post about changing their logo to the Pride logo. Yeah, that was normal. Totally
Yeah, very normal.
nothing crazy going on in those replies.
All right, I do
I'm
want
sure
to.
everyone was very respectful.
Everyone was very respectful and
Everyone was
level-headed.
spreading love.
Yeah, for sure.
Very-
not hate, no hate.
Very
Yeah.
respectful of JT Realmuto's lifestyle, which we all love to see.
A healthy
But,
breakfast.
yeah, one
One
egg.
egg.
One egg is healthy.
One egg a
breakfast.
day keeps the doctor
All right,
away.
before we wrap up, Christian, I do want to ask one thing, and I usually ask this of every guest that's on the podcast, which isn't true because I don't think I've ever asked this.
Can I have
But-
$20?
But are you are you a are you into the television? Like, do you watch TV shows?
Yeah, I do not watch.
Alright.
Well, yeah, I watch TV shows.
You watch TV shows? All right.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do tonight is, when you get home, if you have FXX, the new Always Sunny, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Season starts tonight. You gotta.
Oh,
watch
it does? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it starts tonight.
I didn't
Fuck
know there was
yeah.
a new one.
Yeah, it's a new season. You gotta watch it. That's how you like. I will make more sense to you as a person if you watch that show.
Just specifically that
That's
shit.
not
Yeah,
true.
because
Yeah, it's
it's
not
like
true.
it's like insane and it's like all over the place and there's leprechauns involved. Dude,
There are leprechauns involved. I'll give you that.
It's fucking insane. But yeah, Always Sunny tonight. Vince,
There's also sexual predators involved, so I feel like that makes more sense for you.
yeah, him. Vince, Wild with Pat, man. Anyway, Vince, are you going to be watching Always Sunny tonight?
I'm a big fan. I had no idea that there was a new season starting
Not
tonight.
that big of a fan, huh?
I knew the new season was coming out. I just didn't know it was tonight. So yeah,
The
now
only
I'll be
reason why
watching.
I knew is because I'm a
Boo
member.
this man.
I'm a member of an
Boo.
Always Sunny Facebook group, and they were posting about it today.
Boomer.
Yeah.
Boomer.
Real
I-
fans watch the countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, waiting for days.
Yes, damn right. But seriously, I might be a boomer, and I might admit it, and that's fine. So Taylor, are we done now? Do we have to wrap up?
Well, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Do we have to wrap up. Well, Christian, I hope you can come back like I don't
Another
know.
time this
What are
summer?
you doing?
when we're all there.
Summer right now.
So are you going to be available
Cool.
next Wednesday?
Because if Vince doesn't show up again,
Yeah,
he's gone.
actually, next Wednesday.
I mean,
believe
honestly-
so. I'd have to look.
Honestly, next Wednesday will be better because like today was a disaster because I don't.
Yo,
function-
Seamus loves saying this about all of our episodes.
I guess I mean no. I'm
And
not
then he
saying
goes
that-
and listens back, and he's like, "Wow, that might have been the greatest episode we've ever
Dude,
done."
it's always the shows I think are the worst that are the best. I don't know. That's-
easily.
Is
that's
it the
just-
9/11 jokes that take
Dude,
it over?
Usually that's what it is. Yeah.
It's either the 9/11 jokes or Taylor making fun of me.
They make
like,
or break episodes.
Yeah, they do.
Mm.
But seriously,
There was a lot of potential for them tonight with the smoke everywhere.
but like we function better as a unit
Yeah.
when Vince is in studio. I don't know. It's something about all of us being together. We have to have.
I'm the
same
floor
energy.
general.
Vince is the Rhys Hoskins of this crew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Very
great manager.
streaky, hate him
Phenomenal
most of
manager.
the time, but
Balls.
like every once in a while does something good.
Has a
Ball.
beard.
Yeah.
Wait, is he just the Taylor of this podcast? No.
See, the main reason why is because I'm able to rein Seamus in a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. I don't think that's true at all, but whatever.
All
Well,
right,
for real. Thank you very much, Chris, for coming out. We were
Thank you.
hopefully have you
Nice to
back
meet you,
out
man.
another time, another couple times, hopefully.
I'll see you next time. I'll be there.
Oh, you know what you?
Nah, fuck you, Pat.
We're trying to get. Well, not we're, but I'm trying to get one of the. Oh, Taylor, hold your ears. We're trying to get one of the WIP guys on. James Seltzer, talk a little Phillies in studio.
Ooh.
That's going to be fun. It's going to be soon, and it's going to be epic. It is happening. It is happening.
How many times have
Taylor.
you said this
Taylor,
about
it's
everybody from
happening.
W?
You've
Well, they
said
have to
this
get a-
about like
They-
five
they have
different
to-
people.
because they have to get approval. And Fritz, it would never work because he's on the radio at this time. So
You've said it about
Kincaid
five.
would
You've
never
said
work
it about five other
because
people.
he goes to bed at 4 p.m. I didn't know these people's schedules.
Oh my god! Exactly. You don't know what you're doing.
Seltzer schedules work. Sorry, I can't afford an agent at this point, Taylor. Would you like to be my agent?
It's not an agent.
All right. Cool. Close down the show.
Okay, bye.
Close down the show.